Our next guest is a very, very interesting guest named Ron Sundquist. Ron.
Honored to be here, Carol.
Oh, I'm glad to have you here.
Well,
and I know you got some really nice things to talk about today.
Well, the thing I can't cover everything today,
No.
but as on my resume, I have so many things. Artist, astronomer, historian, veteran, photographer, poet, founder of a museum in Clovis, first director, and all. So the things go on, and it's not to blow my horn. It's to let people know that I'm out there serving my community, and that's
fabulous.
what my life is all about.
Okay, well, tell me in what way do you do this?
Well, as a veteran, I support the veterans. I operate the video for our veterans meeting every Monday morning, and we have that every Monday in Clovis. But as an artist, I've served the community by doing murals for all the Yosemite Falls restaurants in the valley.
Oh my gosh,
So,
and they're beautiful.
Blackstone, Granite Park, and Shaw and Clovis, approximately 17 or 18, 20 murals, and the largest is about 22 feet wide, 52 inches high, which is about 5 feet.
How do you do that?
Well,
oh my gosh.
I'm self-taught, which is also kind of amazing because people say they like my work, but I study other artists and I absorb from my community and my friends. And being a historian, I ran the museum, and I'm going to let you talk to it.
No, I don't have anything to say. I'm listening.
But in 1982, we started the Clovis Museum, and the Clovis Women's Club had just disbanded, but Susie Osterberg and Mickey Wells were the two ladies in Clovis that were interested in preserving our history. But they needed someone to operate a museum. Well, I had never been tutored in that. I knew nothing. I came from Minnesota. So, Clovis history? Well, anyway, I volunteered, and 16 years later, here I am. After running the museum for 16 years, first director and newsletter writer and everything, tour guide.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
You're a handy man to have around.
It was fascinating, and thanks to our ladies in the community that got me started there. I'm a Vietnam-era veteran, and
and thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for your service. You told me. So, I'm a photographer, basically, as you can see by my shirt, Clovis Roundup newspaper. I'm a contributing photographer for our local newspaper, the only newspaper in Clovis, California. So, but it's on the news racks all over the valley, and up at Prather, Albury, Sanger. So it's one that you ought to check out if you already haven't. And then I'm an amateur astronomer, and I sent some photos to you recently that have never been released. They're of objects from 2010. I've been filming objects by the sun and the moon. This was filmed just not too far from the moon one night with my camera. And this is a triangular object glowing.
Wow.
I have no explanation. All I know is that I saw it, I filmed it. And astronomers at Fresno State are still baffled by some of the photos that I've captured because they've never captured it. So here we have an orb. Now the Paranormal Society, Jeffrey Gonzalez in Sanger has a society that I've sent some photos to, but everybody is fascinated. This has like a face inside the orb, and this was filmed in Clovis, in Old Town Clovis, about 4 years ago. And as you see the color, I don't know, again, the history behind spirit orbs, but the Paranormal Society believe that they are past departed loved ones that and maybe will be appearing as an orb someday. You never know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Here is an oval object that was glowing in space. This was out in space by the sun, in deep space. Now, I had a camera with about a 20 power zoom, a Sony camera when I was using this, and many of my photos are dated, some aren't. Well, these are all taken off videos. I actually shot videos, and I did the stills off the videos.
That's beautiful.
It is. And here, now this is what they call a rod. The long rod, bright object going above the sun there, that's as long in diameter as the sun itself, and it's probably the largest one ever filmed. So, like I say, many of these have never been released to anyone else. Here we have 8 objects in formation coming down toward the sun. This is using negative lighting, so I can switch my camera from positive to negative, and it brings out detail sometimes better in negative lighting. So I did that for this, and there it's dated June of 2010, and the time 4:17 in the afternoon when I filmed that. So I try to date, and here, now this was in Clovis at sunset. I actually wasn't looking for anything in particular. I just filmed the sunset, and then all of a sudden the clouds formed this hand. While they separated, and this hand appeared above me in the sky. And definite thumb, fingers, and down at the bottom, if you can see, there's like a little arm and a hand reaching up to the big hand. Now, but how the clouds separated, blue sky, to form that hand, I will never know. But there again, that was dated, and I just am amazed, and it's a spiritual thing to me, because I said God has His hand over us always, and really that day in Clovis He did, because this appeared in the sky just for me. The clouds were moving. Now this is at what was Wolf Manor over on Clovis near Santa Ana and Gettysburg, or Ashland. Just about 5 days ago, I filmed these. Kelsey, my partner, she was out filming with my camera with her back to me, and I had her stand right where the old sanitarium haunted house used to be, which was built in the 1920s, and in only one shot, hundreds of these orbs appeared, as you see in this photo here. Every color, and some smaller ones, white ones, even have tails on them, because they're moving all the time. Orbs are in motion. You can take one photo, and then the next photo, they'll be gone. So yeah, I appreciate so many aspects of life. I'm just never bored with my daily routine, because I have my cameras, and I do portraits, but also I included a photo. I don't know if we showed it on the screen, one of the murals I did for Yosemite Falls. That may have come up earlier, but I'm very pleased. There we have, that's at the Granite Park restaurant on Cedar and between Ashland and Dakota, and that's Yosemite Valley, 11 feet in diameter and 8 feet in height. Well,
Lord, how anybody could do something
well,
like that.
it's done with acrylic, and it's all done to bring beauty to the valley, and anything I do. And now, one thing I brought with me, an artifact. I'm also a collector. This is called a laurel leaf projectile point. Let's put it here, and it's one of the largest. There are some on the internet, but this is 7.5 inches in length, and this is called a laurel leaf bifacial, because when I hold it sideways, look how thin it is.
Oh, gosh.
This was the mastery of flake napping, it was called, where they can flake nap. The Clovis Indian points were the only other Indians that who migrated from Siberia that had flaking like this, and this is the highest form of Indian flaking on any stone tool. Wow. So anyway, these are things I share with the students. I go around the valley, and I go to Weldon and high schools, and then veterans groups and other groups that want me to give lectures. I'm also a public speaker. Wow. As you see, I never stop talking. So,
but what you say is so interesting. Well, can't blame you. Just keep talking.
Well, the Indian artifacts. I also collect autographs, as a historian. But what I do is I collect and then I donate a lot of my items, such as these two organizations, as fundraising items for silent auctions.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I have something for the American Legion golf tournament that I'm going to donate this year.
Good.
That'll be in March, I believe, this coming year. As well as any other organization. I offered something to the studio here. If they need a fundraiser sometime, I will give the studio something.
We could sure
So,
use a fundraiser.
we all can. I personally can use a fundraiser most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, but I share. I was raised in a very wonderful Christian home, and born in 1946. I was taught the way we should behave to others. Love others as you would have them love you.
Good.
You know,
I love
so,
that.
So, as a person from a good home, my mother, I give my mother the credit. She passed away in 2012, and I miss her. But very, very emotional when we lose our moms and dads.
No,
And
tell me.
even as old as I am, 72 years old, I still have such a love for everybody in the studio, what you're doing, and what Mike and all our guests are doing here to promote our own communities. It's just wonderful when people step forward like you and all our guests and operators of the equipment here to make something work in our community, and that's all I've done all my life. And I just pray to God that with my health I can do it more.
No, you're just a baby.
Thank you.
But that is exciting. It's exciting for us to be able to. I love people, and if I can make them go out feeling a little better than they came in, that's what I like to do.
Yes, and a special thanks to, like I say, the Clovis Roundup newspaper.
Yes,
Because
thank you. Finish that.
They
Finish that.
give me a chance to get out into the community and just show my love to so many people.
That's a great thing. And
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Do come back.
I will.
Okay. honey.
Thank you so much, Earl.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
CentralValleyTalk.com